Welcome to Phails. My name is Philip Jones, and today I'm joined by Ashtyn Johnson. She is a running and lifting coach, and her company's called Propulsion.
Yes.
Yeah. Wave to everybody. Ashtyn, they live in these cameras here. Today, Phil fails at lifelong learning. Ashtyn has invested a ton of time throughout her life getting certificates, going to school, kind of iterating on growth, iterating on improvement that's around kind of how would you describe it? 14 certificates.
Yeah. I would describe it on growth and development everywhere, though. Just because I have certs in lifting doesn't mean that it doesn't go into my everyday life.
Yeah.
So growth and development everywhere.
Yeah, because
you can never learn too much.
Yeah. So, ceramics.
I love it.
Lithography.
Yes.
You're in school now taking entrepreneur classes. You're always kind of investing your time and energy and money in learning and growth.
Yes.
That helps you in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes me a better coach too, because I get to problem solve in different ways, which then helps me be able to approach any of my clients in different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably to relate to people.
It definitely makes me more relatable to a lot more different people, because sometimes you just are always just in your own world and you're only thinking about your perspective, but being able to see other people's perspective does make me have a different mindset and insight on how to reach out to others. And so I think that because I've been going to so much school, it's really helped me be able to hit such a wider demographic and not just just endurance athletes, because that's kind of what it was at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Ashtyn because she trains me at a gym in town called Crux. Not everybody here watching this is going to be from Austin. They might not know about it, but Crux is a bouldering gym predominantly, but they also have, some of the locations have lead and rock climbing.
Yeah.
But also a wonderful fitness program and
yoga.
And yoga. And yoga.
Yeah. And
I've been going to your classes
since I started.
For a long time.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like,
you're looking real.
But over that time, I've seen a lot of improvement, and I've also connected with you in a very real way.
I think that you've also changed the way that you look at lifting too.
Yeah.
You definitely were resistant to kettlebells initially, but that's because you weren't educated on them and you were ignorant to them and you didn't understand or know the potential that you could get from it.
Yeah. Now I'm always grabbing a kettlebell.
Yeah.
I don't ever I'll grab a dumbbell maybe for thrusters or something, but.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to use a kettlebell for thrusters.
I know.
That would hurt.
Yeah, it would hurt. But yeah, so that's the backstory on Ashtyn and I. She has been a part of my fitness journey.
Yeah.
And a part of my lifelong learning. Being the type of coach that is very detail-oriented.
Yes.
There's a bunch of types of coaches. I've got, when I go up there, I take Ryan's class. I also take Cameron's class. I take Gabby's. I take Will's. I take a lot of different classes up there. Yeah. And yours is very unique in that you take one movement, let's just say the Turkish get up.
Yeah.
And you break it down into not only the stretching, opening up your hips. You break down what you need to be available before you get into the movement.
Yes.
Then you show the movement in for Turkish get-ups, I think we did 3 days of it. It was just the beginning before you even stand up. And then it was standing up. And then it was getting back down. And it was really intentional and detail-oriented.
Yeah. So I broke it down like that week to week because there's so much to learn about the Turkish get-up, and it's so many movements in one specific movement. And so I did it a couple of times, and one of the first times that I did it, I broke it up and just had people doing floor press and then half get up. And then the next week, it was working just overhead back lunges, which is a portion, but not like necessarily like top down of the get up. But I broke it down to simplify it so that people could chew it a little bit more and actually understand what they're doing instead of just trying to get from the ground and stand up and maybe do it inappropriately or unsafely, which is what is the whole reason I am so detail oriented, is for safety and longevity. I want people to be able to do the things that they want to do for as long as they want to do it, as long as they can.
Yeah.
And do it well and not be inhibited by injury or chronic disease or anything like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And you apply that same methodology to whatever it is we're learning, whether it's pull-ups, whether it's,
Yes.
push-ups, whether it's, pistol squats, whether it's, I've gone through a lot of these movement types with you. And now in all the other classes, when they're like, hey, we're doing this, and everybody gives a demonstration of it.
Yeah.
You're in my head.
Yelling.
little Ashtyn in my head, like, okay, stop at every section of the movement and think about each section and then move on to the next section. And like, this is how you do it, whether it's the way that I move my hand out from my knee when I'm, all those things.
Moving with intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving to breath, moving with intention, learning how to recognize and kind of respect the weight, because doing it with a weight or without a weight, you notice like, oh, there's a lot more to it. Like the yoga block for the get up. Mm-hmm. Boy, how difficult.
Balancing the yoga block. Yeah.
Because it's light. It's nothing, but it's more tangible than nothing in your hand.
Yeah.
It gives you that feedback to say, hey, slow down, buddy.
And you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Just like you're looking at the kettlebell. You're looking at that weight.
Yeah, it gives you visual feedback so you can see something visually in your hand. And it's going to be the distance that a kettlebell will be. It's not going to be further away. So you're not like looking somewhere on the wall. You're actually looking at a physical thing. And then it makes you have to balance it, which makes you have to slow down.
Heck yeah. So you use all of those tools in each exercise. And today we're talking about lifelong learning. And it'll be kind of through the lens of fitness to some extent.
Yeah.
The next thing we're going to do is do Phil Phails 5 questions.
Sweet.
Where I ask you 5 questions about lifelong learning. And we'll just start with the first one. So how would someone fail at lifelong learning? And we're joined today in this interview by a fly.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
No, we're both there. Ashtyn and I are both ADHD.
Yes. It's like killing me because I'm like, oh, I am so here.
He like landed on my hand there.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So the way that people can fail at lifelong learning is to have a closed mindset.
Closed mindset.
Yeah.
So that's like, I've heard this stated as like a fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset,
concrete,
closed mindset, concrete. Yeah, like, I mean, there's many ways, and it's kind of unfortunate how catchy it is right now. It's like open mindset and closed mindset, and like it's very jazzercise of buzzwords.
Well,
but it is very important, and the point that anybody is making is that you should never have the idea that like, oh, I'm done. I mastered it. I've been doing this for years, and I was in powerlifting in high school. I did cross country and track in high school. Directly after high school, I went into marathoning, but I haven't mastered anything, and I'm learning just as much as all of my clients. It's just that I'm learning at a different perspective.
Yeah.
Or different level or chapter in my life.
Stage of mastery,
yes.
maybe.
But it's all, like, if you're trying to master a skill, you will be forever practicing it.
Yeah.
Same with other issues in your life. Like, if you have boundary issues, then you have to forever practice it. Don't assume that you work on this and it's great right now, that it's going to be great forever. There's going to be something that will be like a little baby bump, or maybe it's a massive hill or a mountain that comes into your life, and then you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
But you can't just let it go. You've got to be aware of it and then move on and then continue to keep practicing, or you're never going to continue to keep learning and growing.
In some professions, it's very clear what it is. Like, you have a legal practice.
Yeah.
You have like a chiropractic practice.
Yeah.
And it alludes to we're forever learning.
Yes.
My buddy, one of my best friends, is a doctor, and he said one of the things he does the most is reading the latest things that are happening, the
Yes.
latest information about a topic. So he's constantly improving, constantly learning, constantly kind of updating his ideas around things.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I have a lot of certs because of that. Like
Yeah.
I have certs in things that I don't necessarily fully believe in, but it solidifies me and why I have my beliefs. And I have an occupational therapy degree, but I will never be in the medical industry. That's not my goal. That wasn't my dream, but that is all transferable to my coaching. And so I utilize all of that and the psychological backing of everything of it in my coaching. And that's what makes my coaching different. And I want to help people to have that different perspective because I think that for me personally, that's when I really started to notice a shift in everything in my life.
What is occupational therapy? I took my kids to it when they were young.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I ever really
So it
understood
is like the most wildest thing. I don't know why it's something different. Let's just say that. Like occupational therapy, they work on your everyday skills. Like someone that was in a bombing and lost their arm. They are there to teach them how to do the skill that they used to have, like brushing their teeth, but in a new way. And so it's a very like innovative tool to use. Like their skills are to work on helping people do the things that they used to do or normally do, their occupations. Like you're just like brushing your hair, washing your face, all of those things, getting dressed. If you don't have that arm anymore, you need to find a new way of doing it. And so that's what an occupational therapist is there to do. It's not just PT, like physical therapy, which they can do that too. Like they can look at, okay, we have a torn ACL. These are the exercises we need to do after surgery in order to strengthen said knee. And so it's kind of really broad. And I think that that's where occupational therapists or the whole industry kind of struggles is because it's so broad and they're not focusing on the psychological backing that they're giving or providing and that they're creating these new ways or innovative ways to handle day-to-day life. And I think that in the medical industry, it would do a lot better if all of that was being stated more often.
more clearly.
Yes, because I feel like, because it's vast. Like speech therapy is part of OT.
Oh.
Yeah. And then like working on textile or dexterity, that's all OT. Learning how to, write or manipulate things after a stroke. So it's just like such a huge, wide range of potential assistance and aid to a very, very wide population. It's not just old people. It's not just young people. It's everywhere in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I liked it. And I didn't go with PT because a lot of people ask me, like, why didn't you do physical therapy? But I feel like, and I'm not knocking on PT because I think it's very important. And a lot of the things that I do, even with our warm-ups and stuff, is PT or PT related. But I think having the ability to zoom in and zoom out is very important. And sometimes I think certain professions get very narrowed in and they're just like, elbow has boo-boo, fix elbow boo-boo. Instead of why does elbow have boo-boo and what is causing this issue with the elbow? Was it an event or is this like a chronic issue that keeps recurring?
Like a movement, like persistent movement. You do the same movement a bunch.
Yeah. And you might not feel injured right off the bat, but if you keep opening and shutting a bobby pin,
repetitive motion.
Eventually break.
Right.
Yeah.
Repetitive. Yeah. That makes sense.
And if it's repetition in poor form, which is why I'm so detail oriented, that's what's going to make the bobby pin break.
It might not be the first time. It might not be the 50th time, but over time, you're working these areas in ways that will make them vulnerable to stress or failure.
Yeah, because if you're not looking at where the weaknesses and imbalances are coming from and then like targeting them, then you're only allowing everything that's compensating to get stronger.
Yeah. So to fail at lifelong learning, you have a closed mindset, some static view of the world. You're not updating.
Yeah.
You're like, the
You
world is.
perceive that you've mastered it all, whatever that mastery would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing left.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah.
I'm baked.
Wow. That would be great. Right?
Yeah.
What does that feel like? I wish I had that kind of confidence.
Yeah. Second question. What is success in lifelong learning? What does it look like when you're...
I think it's keep trying and learning how to let go.
Letting go?
Yes, like not keep holding on to grudges or, understanding that you have this feeling and then like moving forward, making, time expirations on your feelings like, oh, I didn't do well on this test. I can retake it. I'm going to, you always make a plan, right? You fail a test and you have to retake it. Okay, I'm going to study. This is how much time I'm going to study, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you have feelings around the test and you have all this plan for your next test, you should probably also make a plan on letting your feelings go about the test.
Something around acceptance.
Yes, because you've got to understand that was just a learning experience and it doesn't mean that you're a better or worse person. You might not be great at testing.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at testing. I failed my first OT test, and it's not that I don't know how to do it. If it was a practical and I had to like verbally or do some sort of scenario in person, I would have been great. But the second you put me in a cube room with a screen and I'm just supposed to sit here for hours on end, It's just not a good recipe for success for me.
Right.
And I've always known that about myself, and I've been working on it, and I'm definitely getting better. So but it takes time, and you have to let it go. You can't keep harboring all those feelings forever. It eats you away.
Yeah. I'm hearing resilience.
Yeah.
I'm hearing acceptance.
Yes.
Like having a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
But also awareness of where you are.
Realistic.
Yeah.
You have to have a realistic mindset, and you have to put realistic expectations on everything that you're doing. You can't expect to run a sub 3-hour marathon if you've never ran a marathon before.
You have to start from where you are.
Yes.
And I think...
And be okay with that.
Yeah.
And stop comparing yourself to other people because they don't matter.
Well, you'll never get to where you want to be if you don't kind of suffer through being imperfect. I talk about this a lot.
Focus on where you're at.
Yeah.
And you're too busy like looking over there.
Yeah.
It's not going to set you up for success.
And making those small improvements along the way. You're not going to go from, my daughter's been running and she wants to get to an 8-minute mile, somewhere around there.
That makes me happy.
And it's hard. I run with her and I probably hold her back, but we're not going to get to an 8-minute mile until we get to a 9.5-minute mile, until we get to a 9-minute mile, until we get a 8:45-minute mile, until we get 8:30. It's this gradual iteration towards the goal.
Yes, and having an educational approach to the goal, or making sure that you have a support team that can back that, like her running coach. If she's in cross country, she has a cross country coach.
Yeah.
Her cross country coach is providing her program to be able to get closer to that.
Yeah.
As long as she continues to be consistent and works on it, she's going to start to see results. It might not be as fast as she wants it to be, but then we're going back to realistic expectations because very, very experienced athletes are elated over one singular second of a PR. Because they have gone so close to their threshold and they've been so experienced in doing this for so long, they don't have very much that they're going to be able, there's not going to be these big hops.
Right.
Whereas when I started marathoning, I shaved 20 minutes off of my time every marathon for the first 4 marathons. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
20 minutes?
20 minutes. But that's because I went from being really ignorant in the situation to still being ignorant, but less ignorant, because I was kind of just flying back in my pants. The whole reason I got into marathoning is because somebody asked me to. They said, hey, I'm going to do the Houston Marathon. Do you want to do it? And I was like, fine. And that's how I've gotten in a lot of things in my life. It was like, that's how I got into powerlifting. That's how I got into cross country. My friend was running. She's like, hey, I got to go for a run. Do you want to run with me?
You want to go?
Like, sure.
Yeah, I want to hang.
And then she was like, hey, I am on the cross country team. You should join it. And I was like, okay. And then I did, because I had no guidance at home. So I was just like, well, I mean, I guess.
I'm really glad it wasn't like a negative influence, people asking you to do stuff. Like, hey, we're going to go rob this bank. You down? You'd be like, okay, sure.
No, I mean, I'm sure I had some of that in my life too. I did have terrible people around me. But like, yeah, most of the times that I made these big, like, weird changes in my life was because somebody just asked me.
Yeah. And you said yes.
Yes, but that was like just out of the ignorance and silliness of my little me. It wasn't because I was like, I'm scared and this sounds like a great idea, like today.
Yeah. It isn't through the lens of this like,
no,
but it is saying yes to new opportunity. That's part of lifelong learning. You're saying yes to experience. Yeah. You're saying yes. And I imagine there were things that you tried through saying yes that you said, oh, these aren't for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then things that were for you, you continued doing.
Yes. Yeah.
So there was like this default or a little bit of bias towards letting experience be your teacher.
Yes.
I'm going to experience it and then make a decision.
Yes.
As opposed to, when I think about running, that seems like something that you do all that, mental stuff. You're like, well, I'm going to get out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a huge mental setback about my education for years because I have 14 certifications, but like I acquired them and I, appreciate them, and none of that information has left my brain. It's not like an expiration date and then it explodes out of your brain. But I never valued it as much as like everybody else's college education. But it's not true. That's not factual. It's just as important. It's just different.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time, I was really scared to go to school. And that's why I didn't start school. I didn't even know it was an opportunity, though. Let's get that straight. Because I knew school was expensive and I didn't know how anybody did it unless you had parents that paid for it. Or you were DJ Smarty Pants and you could just get it paid for because they were like, she's smart. I'm going to give her money.
Yeah.
So I just didn't think that it was like going to even be an opportunity. And then one of my clients actually paid for my first semester. Oh. And that's what pushed me, because I was just like, kind of dragging my heels. And I mentioned it to her once. And then she was like, how much is it? And I was like, oh, it's like $600, like I'm just going to try to save up money. And then she just wrote me a check. She's like, this is nothing, which is gross that she acted like that.
You had a patron.
But she supported me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then I did it. And now I want to reach out to her because she definitely moved away. And I just want to be like, now I have 3 degrees. Aren't you proud of me?
Boom.
Yeah. She'd be really happy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Success in lifelong learning, from what I'm hearing, is keep trying.
Yes.
So I think like fall down 5 times, get up 6.
8.
Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Like you're not letting failure be the end of the story.
Well,
you're continuing to move forward.
Reflect on why you fell down.
Yeah.
Look at your whole picture. When you test out for lifting, let's say you're doing your deadlift test and you already PR'd the last time you tested out. And this is like 8 weeks later.
PR means personal record.
Yes. Excuse me.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So you went through all your programming. You were consistent with your programming, but you didn't do better than your previous test out. Mm-hmm. Well, then you need to look at what are you doing? Like, how's your stress management? How's your hydration? How's your nutrition?
Yeah.
How's your sleep hygiene? What are you doing in your life that's consistent? Is the timing of your sleep consistent? Or are you getting 8 hours, but sometimes it starts at 3 a.m. and then sometimes it starts at 9 a.m.? Mm-hmm. There's all these different factors that play into part. If you're a female, when is your cycle? And when was your cycle the last time you PR'd? That is huge. How's the weather? Because that can affect it too. If it's really hot, then you sweat more, then you could be more dehydrated.
Yeah.
Running, it affects more because there's all these elements, wind, heat, cold. All these things could potentially make you not as optimal as the previous time.
So it's like awareness.
Yes.
Success at lifelong learning is some awareness of all the factors that go into what you're doing, what you're attempting.
Body awareness, spatial awareness.
And then kind of like routine awareness.
Yes.
Ritual
Emotional awareness.
Emotional awareness.
Yes.
Because that gets to that letting go part. A part of success is not letting the emotions rule you.
Yes.
But kind of probably letting them be around enough to motivate you.
Yeah.
But not enough to bring you down.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, last Wednesday was awesome for me, as much as I previously told you that I had a really bad day, but it didn't affect my lifting. It actually probably made it better because I was upset. But
You were lifting hard and you're upset?
I don't typically, because I'm usually too in my feels, but I focused on what I was there to do instead of all the other exterior things that were frustrating me or, bothering me. And I ended up PRing in everything that I did. And it was insane and crazy. Yeah. And it made me feel really great. And then it reminded me, you have to let go and you have to just, it's just a leaf on a river, let it pass.
Yeah.
Recognize it, but let it go.
Let it
because you're gonna fog or blind yourself to new potential you if you keep just harboring old crap. That's probably more than likely made up in your mind anyway.
Well, the failures that we have, the falling down, the next iteration is just as like meaningful as in a success, maybe even more so. You've learned something. There's some kind of F around and find out that occurred there.
Yes.
And now you have found out.
Yeah.
And so you need to approach it differently with, maybe through ritual changes, body changes, all those things you were talking about. But mindset is going to get you through that.
Yes. And recognizing what's important to you. I think that a lot of people get hung up on what their social status or schedule should be, and I think that socializing is very important, but learning how to balance it. You don't have to party every day. You can party, but not every day. You need to learn how to do a 90-10. Are you 90% following your true self and 10% just kind of go on a whim? Or is it the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you need to live.
You need to, when you say partying, it's you need relaxation. You need kind of
eating a dozen donuts, going out and staying up late.
Being fancy free, kind of indulging in.
Not having a strict regimented schedule or, having pancakes for breakfast even though you didn't run. You don't need to have all these parameters all the time.
Yeah.
But you still have to understand and be true to yourself and realistic with yourself. If you give yourself too many freebies or gifts or gold stars, one, how cool are they anymore? They're losing their value and worth.
Yeah.
Because it's just now a day-to-day thing in your life. Chips and salsa rock my world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because I don't eat it every day.
Chips and queso, girl. What are you talking about?
Guac and queso mixed together.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But
We're talking about discipline now.
yeah, discipline is important.
We're talking about discipline.
But that goes with everything else. How can you have emotional awareness and spatial awareness and all of that other stuff if you don't have discipline?
Yeah.
Because you have to be disciplined to be able to understand or recognize any of those things we talked about.
Yeah. Dang.
You can't have consistency if you don't know how to be disciplined.
Right.
Your teeth are going to rot.
Ritual is, discipline is a part of ritual. Letting go is a part of discipline, is also a part of letting
Everything's
go.
Interconnected.
Keep trying. That's also part of discipline.
Yes.
Because and it's kind of an allegiance to yourself.
Yeah.
There's this hey, I got my back.
Yes.
I am my best supporter. Period.
I care about me.
Me.
And understanding that you're worth it.
Yeah.
Because that's where I feel most lies with most of my clients is that they don't think they deserve it.
Self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Three is, I mean, we kind of touch upon this in the last two, but what do you think the benefits of lifelong learning are?
Self-worth.
Self-worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like self-worth, growth and development. Like that's going to come from self-worth. Like once you figure all these things out, and I'm telling you, like it took me years to feel this way. I didn't really care about myself and like recognize my value until I was 34. I'm 40. Like, what? I could have had so many more cooler years. I didn't have bad years, and I don't regret anything. That was my way of learning.
Yeah.
But it took me that long. So don't have this like unrealistic expectation of like finding out and figuring it out and like knowing and then having this perfect life right off the bat. I still have things that I don't like going on, but overall, my life's pretty rad. And I appreciate who I am and where I am and what I've accomplished because I see them as accomplishments now where I didn't before.
And that makes sense. Lifelong learning is equal to self-investment. Like you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that what you invest in has greater worth.
That's when I do a consultation with a one-on-one, that is what I have to talk to them about because, you know, pricing and budgeting comes up. It's important. It's very important. But also time budget. How much are you actually, truly, realistically going to budget time for yourself? How many times are you going to work out this week? How many times are you willing to work out every week? How many times are you going to, you know, run, or how many times anything? You can look at it in any way, but if they're not going to be willing, oh, well, my schedule's this and that, and they start going on about how crazy busy they are, they're not ready.
No, they're not ready.
And then if it becomes the money thing, oh, that's, you know, there is something to be said about not being able to afford something because you're going through a financial issue. That is a thing. But if you're saying that it's way too expensive, but you just talked to me about some lavish resort trip.
Yeah, you're prioritizing things differently.
Your stupid purse that you just bought with your nails, like you're just not ready yet and your priorities are off.
Right.
So that's really important for people to recognize and understand that it is an investment because you might think I'm expensive, but if you put everything into your investment that I offer, then it's not. It's really affordable because I just changed your life.
Yeah.
And you changed your life.
And you're investing, when they make those commitments, it's a time investment. In those moments when they're exercising, when they're actively, there's like, it's a meditative component. Like if you're running, like there is something.
Yeah, there's breath work.
There's something about worshiping yourself during that time or worshiping.
You have one sanctuary.
Yeah.
And surgery is going to be way more expensive and chronic disease is going to be way more expensive than any service I have to offer.
Yeah.
So you might not be paying for it now.
The benefits of lifelong learning is worth.
Yes.
That's what you get when you invest in yourself is a greater worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all need that.
Yes, we do.
I know I do.
Except for this fly.
That fly, you're going to try to get that fly?
No, I'm not going to try to get it.
You're going to be the Buddha?
Oh, well, if it just stays there, then I won't be distracted anymore.
So yeah, just stay there, fly.
Stay.
Should we name that fly? It's been with us for a while now.
Alfred.
Alfred.
Oh my God, Alfred has a friend.
Oh my God. It might be
Scooter.
a girlfriend. Scooter. Alfred and Scooter.
Yes.
Man, how did you come upon, this is the fourth question.
Yeah.
How did you come upon this way of living? Like, where did you get
Man. So, I mean, realistically, it's probably because of my background. I did not come from a great family. I lived on my own since I was 16. I graduated high school on my own. Didn't realize that I could like even drop out until after I graduated, which was scary to me. Like that was even a choice. And then my grandparents were kind enough to pay for me to go to cosmetology school after high school because I didn't know what to do because I didn't understand that they would even want me to go to college. They never talked about it. They just, I guess, thought that I would feel it in the wind. I'm not sure. But so I decided cosmetology. I'm not really sure why. But I was good at it and I loved it. And I was always really interested in learning more than anybody could ever offer. Like, why are you using this specific chemical in shampoo? That, like, those kind of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just was inherently in me. But I've always lived a very, very different lifestyle because I've lived on my own. I've lived on my own since I was 16. I finished cosmetology school. After cosmetology school, I started working at a salon and day spa. By the time I was 19, I built a house. It was being built. It wasn't done until just shy of me being 21. But I was working my butt off, and then the '08 crash happened, and then I realized I needed to swerve because nobody's getting their hair colored and cut as much.
Because they don't have money.
Yeah, because they don't have money. So I immediately recognized that and then got into marketing. And so then I worked for various marketing firms, mostly contracted with AT&T, which was disgusting. But I worked in like various situations like kiosks. I did feet on the street, which I was excellent at. You would have to hang door hangers and you would get paid for 6 hours no matter what. And you had this route. And so I just ran it all. So I would get done in 2 hours and still get paid 6. While everybody else would like take their time and do it for 6 hours.
Wow, because you were just crushing it.
Yeah,
Really fast.
And then I could have more opportunity or time for doing more hair or finding another contract to work.
So it seems like necessity.
Oh, it totally flight or fight my entire life and definitely fear. But interested in growing and learning based off of fear, which I guess is a little bit better than nothing. But yeah, and so then I didn't, I've never loved marketing. That wasn't passionate to me. It was just giving people crap that they don't need, and I didn't like that. And then I worked for Philip Morris for a long time through marketing, and they wouldn't let me take any other contracts because you are so specialized in your training. So I'd just be stuck working music festivals and art festivals and working footprints, giving away cancer and trash. And so I just kind of got to the point where I was like, I got to find something else. And that's when I got into health and fitness. It was not very long that I was interested in health and fitness. I have always liked running and lifting and everything since high school because of other people just, influencing me. And then after that, I went to the Cooper Institute, got my personal training certification, and that was the very first one. And it just kind of like went from there. I have a yoga certification in assisting, and I have a climbing certification. I used to coach a rock climbing team. I have a USA TNF track and field certification, and then like a whole bunch more. But that's what kind of like trailed me this way. And I've always been passionate and liked it. I've just had to find other avenues of making money because when I moved to Austin from Dallas-Fort Worth area, it was about 14 years ago. I didn't really think about it because I was just trying to make my grandparents happy and I wanted to be close to them and they were healthy. So I wanted to have fun and, make memories with them. But then I thought, well, the health and fitness community is way more prevalent in Austin than in Dallas-Fort Worth. So it'll be better for my career. So I moved down not thinking like, I don't know anybody. And so it was really hard and I was really hungry and I had to really lean on marketing for a long time before I started developing the niche that I went into because I did boot camps and all. I did the whole 9 yards. It was
like Camp Gladiator stuff.
I worked for that.
Yeah.
I did that for a while. I did Adventure Boot Camp. I worked for various gyms. I mean,
You're a hustler.
All of them were experiences. And yes, I am a hustler. I don't want to be, but I'm thankful that I am. I've always been able to create some sort of income. And I'm very thankful for it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's how I ended up here. There's a lot of things.
Y'all stick around after we do the 5 questions. Ashtyn's going to talk about her life story. We always do the life story as the second part.
Yeah.
And we'll get to know more about kind of your childhood and how you came upon some of these decisions in more detail.
Sweet.
Fifth question is like, where do you see, where's your pinnacles? Where's your mountaintops? Like, what do you see your like 10-year goals? Like, what do you...
So I've really been thinking about that a lot lately because I'm pretty full of clients. I've been kind of doing workshops and, I'm working on doing a couple of like 8-week series and stuff, but I'm trying to figure out like, where do I want to take this? Because I'm not going to feel fulfilled just doing this forever. Mm-hmm. And I also can't just do it forever. And so I kind of would like to take on other coaches and coaches how to coach. I don't know if that would be like generating my own certification or having some sort of mentorship or what. I have no idea how I would go about that because I feel the coaching culture, I feel like a lot of people feel like they know everything, and it's kind of sad because I think that we all have something to share with each other. Mm-hmm. And so convincing coaches that to get coached by another coach and learning a different perspective is kind of like hard. I don't know how to approach it yet. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a way. I think there's a way, and I think I'll figure it out, but I don't know how yet.
So it's kind of like developing your, not only brand, on one side it's developing your brand, but also developing your system.
Yeah. Like,
this is how I approach these. It works. And I want to share that with folks so that they can benefit from it.
Yeah, because I do know that the way that I coach is different, and the way that I articulate is different, and the way that I kind of like have the stepping stones for learning for my clients is different, and like understanding where to put them and how to troubleshoot when you do have something like they can't get depth or their knees keep caving in a squat or, little mm-hmm. things like that, instead of, just ignoring it or not doing anything about it or saying, oh, we'll just do this. What does just this mean? Sometimes people are good with visual cueing and seeing somebody do it. And other times people can see what you're doing and you can squat and then they'll press their arms overhead and you're just kind of like baffled, but that's because their brain works different. It's not because they didn't see what you did. It's just their connections in their brain are different to their body.
Yeah.
And so like, being aware of that and not getting frustrated with the different learning styles is really important to me. And I would love to share that with others and expand on that, but I don't know how. Because, yeah. And I don't really ever I don't see myself ever wanting my own brick and mortar. And I don't really ever see myself ever wanting employees. Mentorship is different, but like employees in a brick and mortar, I mean, I'm not like completely closed off to it, but I'm not really open to it either. Like, yeah. I feel like I like working for myself for a reason. And if I was going to have any sort of employees, it would be like marketing or social media or.
As opposed to teaching other coaches that would work for you.
Yeah.
That's what you mean by employees?
And I mean and I'm not opposed of that again, but I am kind of because I feel like the coaches deserve every dollar that they get. And if they work for me, I'm going to have to take some sort of percentage to continue to make passive income.
Yeah.
And so, and like they're going to pay me for mentorship or they're going to pay me for a certification. And I feel like that's what's fair. But if I have a brick and mortar, then I have expenses. Then I have to continue to keep doing what I'm doing and not focus on them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Again, I think that there's a lot to think about, and I think that it's cool how I'm thinking about things, but I don't have like a good solid plan.
Not yet, but
no.
It's like you're putting all the building blocks there. You just haven't figured out how they stack up together yet. You take entrepreneurial classes, you're taking, then all this kind of art class stuff, which is got to support creativity and all that. Then all of the certifications around movement and coaching. I mean, as you get older, you'll be a mentor for folks just because of your years of experience and the way that you communicate about these things.
Yeah, no, and I can't wait. I love teaching. I really do. And I'm really thankful that I coach the way that I do. And I have the freedom because when I worked for people, I didn't. And I think that it almost made me quit coaching. I love Crux because they're very hands off, but it's also because they just trust you. They trust that you know what you're doing. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're like way more communal than most gyms. So, yeah.
I'm definitely pro Crux.
Yeah. No, they're great.
I go there every day.
I don't go there every day. I need to go there more days than I do. People are mind blown that I climb. And I'm like, no, that's actually one of my passions.
Climbing?
Climbing and cycling. I love them both.
Yeah, me too. I love cycling and climbing. That's the 5 questions. We did it.
Yay.
We talked about how to fail at lifelong learning, and that was being closed-minded.
Yeah.
We talked about how to succeed at lifelong learning, and that was kind of resilience. Keep trying is what you said, and also letting go of emotions, letting them fuel your growth, but not like weigh your
down.
despair. Yeah. We talked about the benefits, which was self-worth.
Yeah.
Investing in yourself, you're going to have a higher worth. You're going to take that into all of your endeavors.
Yeah.
And have more confidence.
Yes, you should. Everyone deserves it.
Then we talked about how you got into it, and it seemed like it was through the way you were raised and different like market influences. Like we had that crash where people weren't getting their hair done, getting dyes, and you just had to make a move. And it was actually having this like hustle mentality.
Yeah.
And being a hustler, being someone that's like kind of on your own was the feeling that I got. No one was like paying your bills. No one was supporting you. You had to support yourself.
Yeah.
And so part of that was learning.
I was unfortunate, but very fortunate to not have a safety net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the same boat on that.
Yeah.
And then the 5th one, the question was, where do you see all this going? And you're not sure yet, but you kind of have a foggy view of marketing and, branding and marketing, some certificate that is like Ashtyn's way of doing it, Ashtyn's approach. For some reason, what comes to mind is like Bruce Lee, the way that Bruce Lee combined a bunch of different modalities and said like, here's the way I view martial arts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's so cool. I want to be cool when I grow up. Yeah, that would be rad. Like to kind of have like all these different approaches and then form it into one. I mean, that's why I have so many certifications is because I take the bits and pieces that I like and believe in and then create it and morph it with how I coach.
Yeah. 5 questions.
Yay, we did it.
We did it.
Woohoo.
You ready to play games?
Yeah.
Improv games.
Okay.
So part of my lifelong learning, I'm a lifelong learner too.
We all are.
Love it. And a seeker.
Yes. Yeah, you are.
I'm a seeker.
You are a seeker.
And a lifelong learner. And one of the things that I found that helped my growth and just like fluidity in life, like flow in life with people was improv.
Really?
Yeah, I started doing improv maybe 8 years ago or so. I don't know how many years. I forget.
Many
years ago with a community here in town that offers it for free.
Dude, that's cool.
Called Best Friends in Belly Laughs. They're still doing it. And I went from attending to like facilitating to teaching facilitators now.
That's cool. That's super cool.
I teach folks how to do improv.
Sweet.
I mean, I haven't done it in a minute, but I love it. I love improv. I think it's a great way to open people up. I've seen people transform from quiet, reserved, like kind of hesitant to confident, participatory, engaged. And I think it's wonderful for opening people up and getting people just thinking creatively.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's really important to keep that part of your brain going. I think puzzles are important. So this is going to be like a puzzle for me.
It's going to be like a puzzle.
Great. Yeah.
We are improving life.
Oh, every day.
We can make decisions. We have agency.
Yeah.
If you realize it, you're not just at the whims of all these things, not the whims of your emotion, not at the whims of
No.
your circumstances. You have agency.
You literally can walk out that door right now.
I can walk out that door.
Yeah, you can just be like, I'm out.
I'm out. It's your house now. I'm out of here.
You and Alfred and Scooter.
Me and Alfred and Scooter, we're out of here, guys. Yeah, we can make any decision we want. And, that's exciting.
It is cool when you think of it like that, or terrifying, depending on who you are.
That you have responsibility.
Yeah.
I think the opposite of that is this like victim mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I'm just a victim. I'm just being batted around by the waves of the world instead of like, hey, I'm out here making decisions.
Yeah.
I'm at cause.
Yeah. I'm doing my thing, and I decided to do this.
Yeah. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 options.
Okay.
We can play 2 of these. One of them is called Sound Ball.
Oh. Okay.
Sound Ball is fun. One of them is called Mirror Cat. One of them is called 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is kind of a memory game. It's fun. Sound Ball is we pass a gesture and a sound back and forth. And Mirror Cat, we mirror each other. And we pass back and forth the power to be the person in front of the mirror or the mirror.
Jeez. All these sound incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Let's start with Sound Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are warm-up games for these would be like we'd stand around in a circle.
Yeah.
And these would be things that I'd play with folks just to get them to start opening up.
Sweet.
Start goofing off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, this freaking Alfred. Come on, Alfred. What are you doing?
Love and life.
Sound Ball.
Sound Ball.
So improv is about yes and.
Yes and.
Yes and. Yeah.
Yes and.
Yes and. So the first part is I've got the focus of this game. I'm going to think of a sound and a gesture.
Okay.
I'm going to do that sound and gesture, and I'm going to pass it to you. You're going to say yes to the sound and gesture by repeating it. You'll make the sound, and you'll do the gesture. That's you saying yes. Then you saying and is putting that down and coming up with your own sound and gesture and passing it back to me.
Okay, so I say yes or I say and.
You say both of them. You don't literally say them.
Oh.
Improv is all about yes-anding life.
I got it.
Which is kind of lifelong learning. You're saying, you're accepting, you're saying, yes, this is my experience. This is what's happening to me.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to do about it.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the actions I'm going to take to
Cool. Yeah. No, I get it now. Because I was like, so then I yes and then I and, or do I yes or and? But I don't yes or and out loud. I yes or and with gesture.
You yes and.
And.
Yeah. The yes for me is like you say, I see you. I'm going to repeat what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's yes.
Okay.
You don't say yes, though. You can. That'd be pretty funny. Yes. Boo, 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 boo. And then the and part is passing something back to me.
Yeah.
It's participating. It's engaging. It's being an active participant.
Okay.
All right. You want to try?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And.
I don't know. Oh my God. And then and?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure.
Boing.
Boing. That was not the noise.
That was not the noise. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Makes my face red enough.
Okay, now the second phase of this is to notice the sounds and gestures have some energetic quality. Like the had like it was like
Yeah.
you really digged in there. Like you were probably clenching your abdomen and you were sending some energy across the way.
Kind of went, oh.
Yeah. And like the that had some like floaty or lofty. So just notice that over the next ones and think about maybe heightening whatever you think the vibe or energy of the gesture is.
Okay.
A part of improv is heightening.
Yeah, okay.
You take something and you can make it really small or you can make it really big. But the energy is kind of, or the feeling or the vibe of it is the same. It's just heightened.
Okay. All right.
So an example of it being small and maybe like fragile.
Okay.
Like,
Boop, 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 boop. Bah, bah, bah.
bah, 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 bah. That felt strong. It's like a gorilla.
I grew. I got mad.
Gorilla vibes. Okay.
Wow. Oh my God.
Okay, pat yourself on the back. You played the sound ball. That's sound ball. Okay, let's play Meerkat for a minute. We'll just play all three of these. You're so much fun to play with. So at some point, we're not gonna say when.
Okay.
But at some point, like you'll be the person and I'll be the mirror. But right now, I'm the person and you're the mirror. But we're not gonna say it. But I'll just know because you'll take control and I'll just do what you want.
Oh. Oh, shit. Sorry. Damn you.
That's mirror. That's Meerkat.
Oh, that was fun.
Last
Except
one.
for this microphone, man.
Yeah, we hit the mic.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'll just
There.
put a little boop on it.
A boop and a boop.
A boop and a boop.
Boop and a boop.
And then the third one is a memory game. And I think it's hard for us ADHD folks.
Yeah.
It's hard for me.
Yeah, no, I love memory. I love a good memory game, but I'm really not great.
It's funny though. And that can make it maybe a little easier because there's like a comedy aspect of it. So it goes like this. We'll say 1, 2, 3. There's three. How would I explain it? There's 3 placeholders.
Okay.
And at first it's going to be 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And 1 has 1 in its placeholder, 2 has 2, and 3 has 3.
Okay.
And we'll go through them. Like I would say 1 and you would say
2.
And I would say 3. And then you would say
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2.
3.
Perfect.
That hurt.
You just you like did some eye twitch thing, like, oh God.
like,
Okay.
but I liked it.
Now we can change
Okay.
whatever's in the placeholder
Okay.
with something silly
Okay.
or not or serious.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Or sad or whatever.
Okay.
So it would be 1,
2.
blah, blah,
Oh, 1.
2,
Blah, blah.
bing, boom, bing, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, shit. 1, 2.
Blah, blah. Right? Isn't blah, blah 3?
I don't remember.
See, this is,
Because now I hear like beep, boop, 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 boop.
that's 1. See, this is, oh, yeah. We failed. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fine, let's try it again. This is a memory game. It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to do easy. Let's see.
Okay,
1,
so it's not additional because I was thinking 1, 2, beep, boop. 1,
2,
2,
beep, boop.
boop.
But then I can go, boop, 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 2, beep, boop. So whatever I do in the placeholder sticks to it.
So that's the bo 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 bo. It's the new 2.
Is the new 1.
It's the new 1.
1's 2 stuck. Let's try it again. Let's try it.
Yeah.
So 1,
2,
3,
1.
rough.
Meow.
1,
Rough.
meow.
Sorry. Moo.
Rough.
Meow.
Moo.
Sorry.
What?
You just look so like a moo.
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 Moo. I moo on you.
Yeah, I like that. That was fun. Oh my God. Now it makes sense. I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Are you putting it down?
Yeah. I was thinking that you still sometimes still had 1, 2, or 3 in there.
Yeah, you don't. It's just
And you
the
were just
placeholder.
adding, so it was like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
And
no.
essentially- Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it. now.
you get it.
Yeah.
But now we can do this other one, which we kind of did, was in improv, and in life, there's picking up the themes that are occurring in your life.
Yeah.
And for us, it was like farm animals or
Yeah.
like animals.
Yeah.
And we picked up on that theme and you followed it and I followed it. It was like the dog and then the cat. And
Immediate,
and then
yeah.
the cow.
Yeah.
And there's this part of like building rapport and relating where we get in alignment with themes.
Yeah.
And it can be really fun.
Yeah, I like that. No, because like you did something. It was in the other game. You did something. Oh, it was that. Rah, 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 and I was like, ah. Because I was like, something's acting so confident and strong. And so then it fell off a cliff.
Yeah. Like pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
So you were responding. We're
Yeah.
like, we're yes and.
Yeah. And I think you had something that like, well, it was small and then I got louder. Yeah.
Yeah. You did the gorilla one.
Yeah.
Because I did the little.
Yeah. Beep, beep.
And you went like,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's what was going on in my mind.
That's picking up themes. That's playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Improv.
I liked it. That was fun.
Heck yeah.
I've never done that shit.
You haven't ever done improv?
I've never done that shit. Like charade type shit, but not like that.
I think improv is really fun.
Yeah. I like those games like Pictionary and stuff where you have to like you can't that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we talk about Ashtyn's life story.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born in Arlington, Texas.
Arlington, Texas. Mm-hmm. What was the family dynamic that you were born into?
I had 2 parents.
You were an only child.
I was an only child. What else? Yeah, I had 2 parents and I was an only child. And I feel like I was actually the single parent and I had 2 children.
Huh.
Yeah. My parents were very underdeveloped.
How?
They were still living their life and I interrupted kind of situation. I think that like they weren't too young. They weren't like teenagers, but they were not ready to be parents because they weren't even ready to be adults.
What kind of, you don't have any siblings.
Mm-mm.
You were
No,
always an only child.
I was always an only child.
And what kind of work did your parents do?
Mark worked for Willamette Industries, which was like a paper bag company. They made paper bag and corrugated products. My grandfather got him that job because he worked with that. He was, of that generation where you work until you retire.
Yeah.
So he like went up and built up and was very successful within that company and did all the things until he retired. Well, he got Mark that job, and then Mark lost that job because he missed too many days, or who knows? I don't know. They were very, very irresponsible individuals. Terry,
Mark is your dad.
yeah, and Terry couldn't keep a job mostly because she didn't want to. I feel like it was really the issue. It seemed as if they loved socializing and partying. They almost seemed like I grew up around music a lot. They were very into, like, I just grew up in Deep Ellum, and I grew up somehow getting into bars, and I would sit at bars and I would draw while my parents were drinking, and she was sometimes the door girl and Mark was the bouncer, and I would be at venues where Goo Goo Dolls played and Pantera. I used to hang out with Pantera and Guns N' Roses, and that was kind of my lifestyle. Was I partied real hard till like all before like the ripe age of 9. And it's because that was their lifestyle, and I just kind of was like in it.
Your folks, you were going to rock concerts and meeting big...
Yeah, and like I would be in the backstage sometimes trying to sleep, and like a band would come off stage and they'd be really loud, and I would wake up and I'd be like, hey, you guys need to be quiet. I'm trying to sleep. And then they were just so used to me being around that they would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, like, yeah, it's real weird. The singer from Drowning Pool was like one of my friends, and he used to carry the stuffy around with him that I gave him all the time. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird because I have always been more easier to get along with older people or adults, but they were like so immature that it's kind of weird. Like I was hanging out with a bunch of immature fools, but yet I could just like, I don't know. I guess I just got really good at like trying to fit into any environment. And then as I started getting older and recognizing, you know, things were not the same, that's when I started having like really bad anxiety and stuff, and I would have panic attacks. But
that when you realized that other people weren't raised the way you were raised?
Yeah. Like, and then so I would try to like mimic, like my neighbors had like a nap time, and so I gave myself a nap time. If I felt like I did something bad, I would make myself go to my room and think about it.
You would?
Yeah, because I was just trying to create normalcy in my house. It was a mess. And my parents weren't hoarders, but they were definitely pack rats. And so my way of pleasing or like trying to get like acceptance from them would be like cleaning the house, but like they would have so much crap that I would have to like make little crap piles, and I'd be like, look, I cleaned the house and I cleaned the kitchen and I swept the floor and mopped it and back, and like they didn't care about those things. And I didn't know love languages at the age of 4 or 5, so like I just kept doing the things that I thought would make them like love me or accept me, and they just kept living their life. And I had no real role model except when I started looking at exterior, like my friend's house or my neighbor's house, or like how they would kind of like act. I would just try to recreate it.
What was the relationship between your mom and dad?
Terrible. And they were both Jezebels.
Jezebels? What's a Jezebel? Like a charlatan?
Yes.
They were like...
Yeah, they were like not faithful to each other. And I remember, one time Terry talking about like, oh, this guy kissed me terrible. He shoved his tongue down my throat. And I thought, what a terrible friend. He needs to learn how to kiss better. Like, this is all in my thoughts as a kid, sitting at a bar, doodling. How did I become this person? I don't know. But yeah, those were the kind of...
So they didn't, like, was it an open relationship?
No, it was not an open relationship. They were miserable with themselves. They're both have a tendency to have a victimized mentality. And
still together?
No. They divorced. They divorced shortly before I lived on my own. So it was like around 13 or 14 is probably the last time I saw Terry. Maybe I was 11 or 12. No, it was 13 or 14. And then it was 14 or 15 because it was before I drove. And once I started driving, because my grandparents gave me my first car, that's how I started driving. So there was like little niblets of like my grandparents trying to help, but I never lived with them, and I don't think they understood the extent of like what was going on at home. Or they just didn't want to step in. I don't know. Either way, they try to help here and there. And my parents finally split, and he moved with his girlfriend in her trailer. And then my mom kept the house because I was there with her boyfriend that already lived in the house. It was a very wild situation. And and then she just kept spiraling down and getting worse and worse as an individual, and very, very abusive, verbally, physically, to the point to where I got hurt. And then my dad acted like he was kind of like involved in my life. And so I told him because I thought I trusted him. But then they just used that in court. And then he got custody of me. And whoever got custody of me got the house. So really it was just his wife now wanted a house. And
sounds like a hard upbringing.
It was wild. Like even thinking about it now, I'm just like, how the hell did I live through all that? And so one day I came home when I lived in said house that they got because of me. I didn't have a room. And so my grandpa tried to like make me a room out of this larger den room because she gave her children the rooms. And I was sleeping on a couch. And she got to the point, I think she was trying to teach me like how to be a responsible individual or something, but it just didn't, I don't know. It was a really weird situation. So his now wife was like charging me to do my laundry per 30-minute shower, to use a box fan. And I had to buy my own toiletries and stuff. And so I was working and I came home and she was mad at me over something. I'm not even sure what. I can't remember. Probably best. But she destroyed my room. And I just decided like, I can't do this anymore. And so I took a few clothes, all my money, and then I had a car, so I left. And then I started living with one of my coworkers and his girlfriend, and like that's kind of how I ended up on my own.
This was at what age?
I was 16. Yeah. And then, like everything's unstable and crazy, and his girlfriend wanted me to pay half rent instead of a third rent. And I was like, I'm not paying for you. So they kicked me out, and I'm 16, so I can't get an apartment. So I was just kind of at the like mercy of anybody that was going to be kind. A lot of people didn't want me to stay with them because they didn't want to get involved in it until I was after 18. They said, well, you can stay here, but I'm going to call CPS. And I was like, I don't want to make this an issue. So I'd sleep in parks a lot. And
you were homeless?
Yeah.
For how long?
Just like off and on. So I wouldn't even say like off and on for maybe like a year.
From 16 to 17?
Well, when you put it like that, maybe, yeah, like, because I had like bits and places. Every once in a while, I would have somewhere to stay, and it would be like, yay, I have somewhere to stay for like 3 months. And then I wouldn't have anywhere to stay again.
My daughter's 16.
Yeah.
I can't imagine her being out in the world with her own devices.
Yeah, no, so I would stay in like neighborhoods that were being developed because some of the houses were built and then others weren't. And so I felt like I was like close to people, but not too close. But I didn't look conspicuous for having a car parked there because there's workers. And they have different cars. I don't know. That was my logic.
So you live in these houses that were...
No, I would just stay in my car.
You would stay in your car?
Yeah, I had a hatchback. And so I would sleep with my head towards the hatchback and then my feet out. So like if you looked in, maybe it wouldn't look like a human.
What was that time in your life like? Like what was your...
I don't really know, other than I was in high school and I was scared a lot and I was just trying to go through things, and I didn't ever act like anything was going on, to the point to where like my principal had to like call Mark and see if I lived there or not, and he was like, no, she hasn't lived here for...
So you're still going to school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was still going to school and I was still working. I just didn't have a place to go home because that's what you do, right? That's all I knew.
It's heartbreaking.
And I like would, like I was tired because I would try to work longer and my job would let me. And so I would get home at like 1 or 2 in the morning because I was working at Fridays, TGI Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there with flair and without flair. And the transition in between is funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's where I worked. And they have a bar. So like they let me kind of like card people for a little bit longer so that I can make a little more money. And which would make me tired. And then school starts at like 7 or something. So I'd be late every day. And so I technically failed my first class and didn't get to walk because I had 27 absences because I was over 20 minutes late. And my teacher never asked me what was going on or anything. But I had a 97 in a class, so I was no dummy pants. I don't know. So my principal was, on to me because of my absences. And then he asked me what was going on. And I wouldn't tell him for a long time. And then finally, eventually, I told him. Then he asked Mark. Then he knew I wasn't lying. Then he felt really bad. So he tried to help me make up time for the absences. He got me my cap and gown. Didn't know that this one teacher was going to fail me in my class, and didn't find out until it was too late. And so I didn't get to walk, and I had to go to school for like, what's that, like summer school type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I finished that in a week and then graduated. So
seems like you were a kiddo that fell through the cracks.
A lot of it, like, and I think, like, why aren't there, like, services for those kind of situations? Like, I feel like, and if there are, I don't know about them or didn't know about them. And so, yeah. And then I went to cosmetology school afterwards, and my grandparents kind of helped me through that, like, registration and all of that. And they were kind enough to, like, pay for me to go to school. And then I just worked. I worked at Fridays. I worked at Victoria's Secret, and I went to school and finished cosmetology school, and then started working in salon and day spas.
By the time you were,
took like, I think it's like 2 years.
So 18.
Yeah. And then from 18 to 19, I was just hustling hair. I would work at work, and then I would work before work or after work. Sometimes I would do hair at like midnight. I've cut hair at Sonic. I've cut hair at a mall. I just would do it anywhere and would do anything to try to make any dollar I could, because I just never knew when I wasn't going to have enough money. And I was staying at my friend's parents' house for the last bit of my cosmetology school because I was just over 18, and they let me stay there until I graduated, which was in the summer of whenever. And then they kicked me out, and so I got my first apartment. And then it was never an issue really after that because I was old enough to be able to get my own apartment. I had to just like rely on other people. And that was actually probably the hardest thing. It wasn't that I wouldn't even be able to like afford it or anything, because I definitely just only worked. And I did not have like a normal childhood. And I would go and like try to do like kid things and go to parties and stuff. But I didn't ever have a connection with anybody. So I'd always like be invited to a whole bunch of things, and I didn't know how to say no. So I would go to like 8 different parties, but stay 30 minutes at each. And just be like, oh, well, sorry, gotta go. And like nobody knew, like I was just going party to party, mostly driving then through the night. And then would go to sleep and then like start my workday because I was just trying to like fit in. It was weird.
Yeah. You grew up really quick.
Yeah.
Like really, really quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. It sucks that I didn't have any siblings or anything to like kind of
share that,
be with.
Yeah.
But also like I would hate for anybody had ever to go through any of that. And, but I'm thankful for it because I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't have even like been so driven to learn so much if I didn't go through all of that. I don't know.
Seems like you were forced to. You didn't have that
Yeah, I
kind
didn't
of,
have a choice.
you had to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
You had to even where you were going to sleep
Yeah. Yeah. And how was I going to eat? And
go to school and you're juggling all this stuff.
yeah.
I could see a lot of people really falling down or going down to a rabbit hole of drugs
Well, I never did that, but I definitely had low times, I was always involved with the wrong people. And then I was always kind of a parent to them because I was always around the wrong people. And,
what are the wrong people?
Like thugs. Yeah,
criminals?
People, yeah, people that were stealing stuff. They would steal cars. My car got stolen and I was really upset. And I was like, look what it did to me. Why are you doing this type stuff? But these are the people that I didn't know you could choose your friends. And so I was just around it. And they were doing a lot of drugs and stuff. And I would be their good angel, trying to keep them safe and oh, maybe you shouldn't do this thing.
This was in Fort Worth or in Dallas? Arlington?
Yeah, Arlington, Mansfield,
South town.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with criminals.
Yes.
Being the angel on their shoulder.
Yeah, but I mean, I was no angel either because I surrounded myself with them. I just never actively stole or sold, I never sold car parts or stole cars or I would never be a part of that because I worked so hard for my car. I don't understand how you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the people I hung out with.
When did you start pulling yourself out of that world?
I think around the age of 25 to 26. Even when I built my house, I just had bad people at my house. I would let people stay with me that shouldn't have stayed with me. I would end up they would have a kid and then I'd feel bad for the kid and then they would just end up staying with me for free and then I would be paying for kid things because I would just feel bad. It was just terrible. It was just a bad situation. But I would stay. I had my house and then I was with this guy for 6 years and eventually he ended up cheating on me and getting someone pregnant. And so we ended up breaking up, which was a blessing in disguise. I was miserable. I needed out. He was toxic. He was terrible. He did not treat me right. There was nothing beautiful about him, but he was really great at manipulating. And I was definitely a submissive, not person that you would recognize today at that time. So it was devastating when he broke up with me. And it was devastating that he got someone pregnant. But wow. What a blessing in disguise. And that's when things really started to change because then I had a little more control of my life. I was still working a bunch, but I started getting into yoga and started getting into rock climbing because yoga kind of opened my mind about things and trying new things. And so I got into rock climbing and then I had a different community of people. All the rock climbers I hung out with were highly intelligent, eccentric individuals and just kind of being around a whole different vibe of yoga people, climbing people, granola people.
Right.
And just Smarty Pants McGee. Mm-hmm. That I was very self-conscious of how stupid I was. Just because I didn't have the same intelligence as they did. I didn't recognize my intelligence.
You might have not had facts memorized.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have.
Because I would say that what you did showed a supreme intelligence to be able to navigate the world and all the complexity that you had from a young age and make a path forward where you went to school, had jobs, managed your own kind of living situation. Yeah. However, strange it was in a house in a developing neighborhood or all of those things show immense intelligence.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't feel like that then. I do now. I do see the drive and discipline that I have. It's definitely rooted from that. But I'm very, very thankful that I'm finally aware of it because I never gave myself credit for anything.
Yeah.
And so being able to recognize that now is also how I started changing. And I still had issues with having the wrong people in my life, but it was different. It was like, just like people that suck you dry kind of wrong, not like criminals anymore. When I moved to Austin, like it's just a bunch of white people. So like I extra like didn't have any bad like, and I was never influenced by any of that, but I was definitely surrounded by it, which just made me feel like that's who I was. I've always felt like I'm just some like thug.
You've got,
and that I'm just like squeaking in the back door everywhere I go, and nobody knows that they're just with this like fucking thug. Yeah.
So this like your identity.
Yeah.
The way that you view yourself was kind of in a negative light.
Yeah, like very like trash, thug, scum of the earth. Yeah. Awful, right? Like, but I didn't know, and I didn't have anybody to like teach me to understand, to know that I was none of that.
No.
I'm not a criminal or a thug. And I still love rap music, but that's different.
I like rap music.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, it was a lot. And around the age of like 34 to 36 is when I truly valued myself. So, I mean, like, look at the like timeline and how long that took.
Yeah.
And like that, like me telling you this is probably not really easy to hear sometimes, because you have kids and they're around the age of like some of my most traumatic times. Mm-hmm. But look at how much things changed and how long it took, like
it takes a long time.
Look at who I am now. You know me for who I am now. You only know me
That's right.
for who I am now. And so to hear these things, or maybe even be crazy to you, but like look at the potential that anybody could have. And just because you're 40 or 50 doesn't mean that you don't have room to change.
Right.
Room to change.
I think about your story within the framework of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A lot of folks, at least middle class, upper middle class people, they start out on the second level.
Yeah.
Because they have food, water, shelter, all that stuff taken care of by their parents.
Yeah.
So they can start with this next level of, I don't know what's in the second rung, but whether it's developing trust or self-identity or all these things that kind of push you towards self-realization.
Yes. Yeah.
And you were starting from ground zero with what sounded like not a lot of help.
Yeah.
You were figuring out food, water, and shelter.
Yes. Well, and there were many times where we didn't have electric or water because they didn't pay the bill, or they couldn't pay the bill.
Yeah.
And, I got really great at answering the phone and sounding like a very professional secretary. And they would dote on that. Like, and so that was like my level of acceptance, is that I knew how to be proper enough on the phone that I could, whoever was on the other side of the phone didn't know who they were talking to.
Yeah.
They didn't know I was 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so by 34, around 34 is when you woke up and realized you had agency, realized that you had some say in who you were.
Yeah.
How you showed up in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I came from small town. It was next to big cities, but I was from a smaller town. Arlington is not big, but Mansfield was where I went to high school and grew up. Mm-hmm. And it was not big. And there was golf course people, and then there were rodeo people. And both of those are just two different flavors of rich. And then there was like my neighborhood that somehow kind of like was just kind of nestled into there. And it was different. And so recognizing and seeing everybody's like different walks of life kind of was helpful for me, because I was like, okay, this is not normal over here. They don't have to know that, but I can just try to act like that's normal, and then maybe I'll fit in. I was all about like trying to like
fit in,
blend in, like, not even like fit in, like be popular or cool, just blend right in. I am a chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's safer than being the center of attention. Yeah. Because then you might know things about me.
So always kind of there, fitting in, but not shining.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of
squeaking through.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
And then 34 comes around and you're having an awakening.
Yeah, I started school and realized that I'm not dumb, and I'm not sure how half of the population got to school.
What was the catalyst for that awakening?
Going to in-person classes and then like being around other walks of life that were completely different than my Austin bubble, because I'm around a bunch of like really, really, I would say like well off, or at least, middle class, well-to-do professionals that are like I know how to surround myself around the right people, but I didn't necessarily consider myself one of them, other than we're all human. Like I understand that. But these were like all different walks of life. Like there's, teen pregnancy chick, and then like a 6-year-old person that just wants to like further their education. And then like, there's like all these different people because it was Austin Community College.
ACC.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow. And look at all the different like forms of not smart that we have here, and not in like a like condescending way, but like that's when I recognized variations of intelligence, and then that's when I recognized I should be here and this is okay and I belong. And I still struggled a little bit with occupational therapy because that was a private school and just the way they act, and it was a Catholic school, so I definitely didn't fit in, but that's when I really started to realize that I do have value and I do have something to offer. And it wasn't because I was getting an education, because I was already getting a lot of education. It was because I realized it doesn't matter what education you're getting, as long as you continue to keep learning and growing, that's really important. It doesn't matter what university you go to, just keep learning.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's something to be said about going to UT, whatever. But like, there's also something to be said about continuing to keep learning.
Lifelong learning.
Yeah.
I got is it Dorothy and the Three Bears? Is it Dorothy and the Three Bears?
No, Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Yeah, I was like, who's Dorothy?
Dorothy's the one that goes Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Toto.
I got a real Goldilocks vibe because when you were young, you surround yourself with kind of, you said thugs.
Yeah.
Criminals.
Yeah.
Folks that lived in an underworld where they were breaking the law in order to survive. And then you swung. Went to prison.
Yeah.
So like, which isn't who you are. You weren't participating, but these were the people that you needed to survive because they were the ones that the universe provided for you.
Yeah.
And, we need community. We need society. We need to socialize. That's really important.
Yeah.
We're social beings.
Yes.
And then you kind of have this opposite side. This is the hot and the cold. The other side was like folks that were, intellectuals or well-to-do, or people that had, all their stuff together with their degrees and with their jobs and kind of like, these academic, I don't know, accolades or badges, whatever we're calling them. And those folks were kind of, we've swung the pendulum to the other place. They weren't breaking the law at all, but still they're very different.
Yeah, and they could not relate to anything. So I just never talked about anything.
Right.
Because it's like they'll never understand. And I don't need them to understand to have me exist.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So you had this hot and cold, and it wasn't until you found ACC and this like just right of, there's a lot of different types of people in the world.
Yeah.
Not just thugs and, and intellectuals.
Yeah.
And I can fit in the middle. I can bridge these worlds.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like I said, I went to a small town, USA. There was golf course people and then like ranchers. And all of those people did the traditional, like you go to college, you get married, you have kids. So like I wasn't doing all those steps in the right order. And I was looked down upon a lot too. So like the thugs actually were more relatable because they never even judged me on that. Yeah. They were too busy in their own shit. They were so self-absorbed and in their own thing that like, I was like, man, it's like, why am I trying to hang out with these people
Because you weren't
Because I
following the middle class
wasn't
path.
doing the normal thing.
Yeah,
But,
school,
like, what is
college, get
normal?
married, get pregnant, have kids, get a fancy job.
Yeah.
That's like, and if you don't find yourself in one of those paths, where are you?
Yeah.
You're some kind of, shapeshifter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but then, so in one of my psychology classes, I was learning about adult development, and there is this, I'm assuming, scientist, maybe quite possibly doctor. His name is Daniel Livingston, Daniel L. Doesn't matter.
Daniel L.
He came up with the theory of seasons of life, and it's basically until like about 22, your life is compartmentalized in like these like 5 to 7 year lumps. And then you have these transition lumps in between. And I was just like, although it was talking about a traditional normal trajectory, like you go to college, you get married, you do this shit, you get a house, all those things. I could see the relation in it and how it correlated with me, because it was like every like 5 years there would be some sort of switch, mostly positive, but there would be a transition in between that maybe felt a little unstable and hectic, but it always ended up being a little bit better. And right now, like, I know I'm going through like another transition. It will never feel like the worst transition, but like, it's a transition, and growing pains never feel good. But like, I know that there's this like new amazing thing or better thing on the other side. And I'm like more excited about it now that I can recognize it, instead of just seeing like what's going on and like the now,
Yeah.
But like seeing it kind of broken up like that, I'm like, oh, all right. I'm actually right on target. It's just that the transitions to what are different. Because I got that house before I even got married or had kids or anything,
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of cool that I got to learn that and see that perspective. They taught a bunch of different theories. That one resonated with me the most, though.
I heard a story about lobster and how lobsters, they get bigger shells.
Yeah.
They shed their shell, and then I don't know if they just grow it on their body. Is that emulsify or whatever?
I think so, because they do molt them. Like
molt.
Birds molt their feathers, and crabs, that's how you have a soft shell crab, is it's in the middle period.
In the middle period.
Yeah.
So what I've heard is they're growing inside of there.
Yeah.
They're growing inside this hard shell.
Yeah.
And it'll hurt because there's too much lobster
For the shell.
There's like 5 pounds of lobster in a 4-pound shell.
Yeah.
And so they feel uncomfortable. They feel, it's not cool for them.
Yeah.
And that's when they go hide and they shed that shell, and then they grow a new one. I'm not a lobsterologist. So anybody out there that knows I'm wrong.
All technical terms.
This lobsterology is not my academic background. So if there are lobsterologists out there, put in the comments exactly how this goes down. But what I heard was they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's too much lobster in there.
Yeah.
And the shell's not going to move. It's not going to expand to accommodate.
Nope.
So they got to go hide, get rid of that shell, and then do a new one. And I think about that within the context of development.
Yeah.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
It's like I'm at a time to transition because I'm uncomfortable. I'm dissatisfied. That means it's time to make a move.
Yes.
Time to grow. Time to like find a new shell.
And learn how to be okay with being uncomfortable, because a lot of people, the second they feel it, they retract. That's a missed opportunity.
So they'll stop growing. They'll say, hey, I'm just going to keep, if my shell's 4 pounds, I'm just going to never get bigger than 4 pounds in here, instead of growing to 5 and then getting a 5-pound shell.
Yep. Yeah. It's sad, but I think it's also like how our culture is now. Like everything is like instant gratification. Everything's like right now. Like think of Ozempic, like, terrible. so terrible, and it's starting to be exposed of how much terrible, but it's just a quick answer for the people that aren't willing to feel a little discomfort.
There's always been quick.
There's always
been quick fixes.
But the quick fixes come with a lot more cons, and the biggest thing is that you never address your actual issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the same with lifting. If you don't learn how to lift right, you're never addressing your actual issue. So you're always going to have that knee pain, or you're always going to have that back pain, or you're always going to feel a little like wonky in your elbow when you start doing pull-ups, probably because you're doing too many right off the bat.
We're talking about shortcuts.
Yeah.
We're talking about trying to not do it the right way, get the results.
Yeah.
Without, it matters how you get there.
Yeah, it does.
It'll show in your body.
Yeah.
It'll show in your mental health, all of that stuff.
Everything.
If you cut corners.
Yeah.
That's where discipline comes in.
Yeah. And it shows like that's a personality trait right there. If you're cutting corners, there's a typical personality that does that, like, and it's unfortunate because like if you never can overcome that, then you're never gonna fully ever get to be your best potential self. And like who doesn't want to be like the best version of yourself?
The best version of yourself.
Yeah. I'm not saying perfection. That's weird.
Well, there's no such thing as perfection.
No. But the best version of yourself is something that you should always be striving for.
Yeah.
And you can have a bad day, but you wake up, you have another opportunity of trying again.
Heck yeah.
And that's it. Like
that best version is, your body, your health, your emotions, your, the way you connect and communicate with the world.
What you're putting
people.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. How do we iterate towards that best version? I think that's a real big part of what this is.
Yeah.
I'm doing it's kind of mind, body, and spirit. And when I thought about you and talking to you and getting your story, it was the body part, like this fitness.
Yeah.
But it's also turned out to be a real mindset part.
Huge.
The discipline part.
Yeah.
The, resilience part. The lifelong learning.
Yes.
Part.
Yeah. There is a lot of lifelong learning. Just go ahead, put your seatbelt on.
put your learning pants on and
big girl panties.
Big girl panties and get to work.
Yep. Because once you stop, then you start dying. Like figuratively or literally.
Yeah.
Like once you give up, once you stop working your brain, once you stop working your body, that's when it starts to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're not investing in it.
Yeah. No. And it knows it. And it's like, well, what am I doing?
Do you think ADHD plays a role in this? Were you diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes, I was. But not until an adult.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because accumulatively out of my entire life, I probably had insurance 2 years. 2.5.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I didn't start my development healing, figuring out what the heck was going on with me.
Yeah.
Until I got insurance. And that was like late 30s, I think.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I can get therapists. I can figure out my historic trauma. I can, why I make the decisions I make. It wasn't until I had this like resource. We'll get back to that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like I needed to have enough money to even...
I thought I needed insurance, and I don't. And actually, my psychiatrist doesn't even take most insurances. And but I had that mentality because that's what you get drilled in your head. And I just thought I could never afford it. And, you can afford what you need to afford.
Yeah. Well, there's sliding scale out there too. Yeah. Folks will do sliding scale.
Yeah. And, like you're investing in yourself. I think that it's more worth putting in the money into yourself than into anything else.
Heck yeah.
And I feel like with insurance, there's just that like if you got it, that's cool. And if your company pays for it, that's super rad. But for the people that don't have it, investing in getting a coach or getting a nutritionist or getting a therapist or any of those investments are way worth more than insurance.
Yeah.
And just get catastrophic, which is like $5 a month. So don't waste your worries and times or money on something that's not going to give back to you, because you could have full coverage insurance type situation but it doesn't cover everything or anything, and then you're paying that, and then you're still having to pay on top of that, where you just pay.
Yeah.
And then maybe you don't have to go to the doctor so much. You
Yeah.
should still go to the doctor. I think that annuals are important.
Yeah.
Blood panels are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fainted when they took my blood for my blood panels.
You fainted?
I fainted. I had a life. I was in the fainted state, and I had a whole world in there.
What?
I think I went on a vacation. I did a bunch of stuff. I was with my kids, and
Yeah.
they were driving in a car, and then I woke up, and there was a bunch of people standing around me, concerned, and I was like, "Where am I? Who are you people?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
Yeah.
It was scary.
Wow. I've never fainted from getting my blood taken, but I did get a gnarly, golf ball size lump.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because somebody stuck me wrong.
Oof. Do you want to know what the remedy is for feigning Phil?
What?
Peanut butter crackers.
What?
They
Did
gave me-
just
They gave me some peanut butter crackers. They said, "Go lie down, eat these peanut butter crackers." I ate those peanut butter crackers, and I was like,
Good as
"Oh, I'm Phil. I'm at the doctor's office getting blood work." It's those are little
little brain snacks.
brain snacks. Yeah, it worked.
That's funny.
So speaking of awakenings, you
Yeah.
had your first awakening around 30, it sounded like 35, 36, somewhere there. What has been, you're 40 now. What has the other awakenings been? Have there been any?
Yeah. The the care of what others think is out the window.
Really?
Yeah. When I've spent my entire time trying to mold into whatever others want,
Mm-hmm.
there are less F's to give.
Less
There's my little given an F cup. There's maybe 2 in there. I don't know. It's pretty empty and it's fine.
Yeah, 0 F's to give.
Yeah. I just, it's, man, it's refreshing. It's empowering. And I still care. I care about people. It's unfortunate how much I hate people. I also care about people, and I want to make them better, and I want to help them. But I am wasting less energy on the stupid people that are not worth my time.
Yeah.
And I can recognize quicker who's stupid. And I'm not talking about intelligence or lack of intelligence. I'm just using stupid as a gym.
How they're investing their time, probably in energy, and where they're placing their attention.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where that lands for me is kind of the way I talk about it in the show is internal referencing versus external referencing.
Yeah.
You're looking inside for your guidance system.
Yes.
You're not looking outside, because I think the words that resonate with this external referencing is placating, people pleasing.
Yeah.
Not following your own vision or your own
Having boundaries and not keeping them stern.
Yeah. Having boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of those things. Recognizing when you're interacting with an individual, and this is a friendship, business relationship, intimate relationship, looking at what value do you see in them that you want for yourself, and what do they have to offer is kind of a great way to think about things. Because if you see this person and they're driven and motivated and a good person, that's something you see in them that you want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so surrounding yourself with people that have the things that you find value and it's reciprocal, those are the people that you need to spend your time investing on. I don't need a lot of people in my life. I know a lot of people, but I don't have a lot of super... I don't have a lot of people that I think is super close. There's many weekends where I don't go hang out with people. I just am with myself sometimes. And that's when I've gotten to grow the most, I think, is getting that time. Although sometimes it's sad times, because then I'm oh, I'm so sad. Nobody wants to hang out with me or anything. But it's actually, I've just not put any effort into initiating a hangout. So
I hear like seeking the win-win. This is from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've done a ton of different frameworks and workshops, and one of them is 7 Habits, which I love. And it's like in that, it's like the art of effective negotiation.
yeah,
But I think about that and negotiating who you allow in your life, because that's a transition or a transferring of energy.
yes,
You know, what am I going to get from this? What am I giving? And you want both people to be getting
yes,
and giving the same, some kind of balance
Yes,
there, that
there
they
has to
leave that
be.
relationship happy, nurtured. And that means there's an alignment there.
yeah, yeah. And like, I'm not like a tit for tat kind of person at all. Like, so I don't mean like always equal give and take. And I don't mean it financially. Like, I buy you lunch, you buy me lunch another time, whatever. We don't need a like nickel and dime it if we were to go out.
Yeah.
Like, I pay this time, you pay next time, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people I want to be around more.
But
because
you ordered a Coke and I didn't order a Coke.
Yeah.
Ashtyn.
Yeah, I don't care. Because next time I will not. I don't know. You know, like
No, go ahead.
silly goose stuff, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, we're really upset about this like $10 difference,
yeah.
you know? And like, then where is your value? Like, what am I here for? Was I here, you know, just to like be here? Or like, can you not see that like maybe one day you'll get it back? Maybe not even financially, maybe like
In some other way.
some other form of
Yeah.
action. Like my closest friends will go on trips and like one will get the Airbnb and then I'll get the groceries and then the other person will get the car
Yeah.
type of thing. Like, and like we'll try to make sure that it's fair or everyone feels fair, but we're not sitting there doing math because we'd rather spend our time investing in our own relationship
And
then having memories made with each other.
adventures together.
Yeah. And like supporting each other in our things, calling each other out on our shit, you know?
Yeah.
We're all human. We make mistakes. You need to hear it sometimes. Like, that's the kind of value I'm looking in whenever I have people in my life. And it's left me with a lot more free time. Let's get that straight. I don't have a lot. But the time that I do have, I can use it however I want. And I can use it to reflect on other things and kind of get clarity. Or just, you know, I don't know, reset. Because I used to never give myself time to reset.
Self-care.
Yeah, just drag myself out. So it really is awesome that like somebody can invite me to a wedding shower and then like I can say no. Instead of like trying to strain myself.
Always
to go
saying
to
yes.
This wedding shower I don't want to go to, and then why? You know?
Yeah.
Here's your gift. I know that's all that matters. Like, please just take it. Yeah.
Tell me about Propulsion a little bit. How old is this company that you're running?
So
You're the CEO?
So I never named it until maybe like 2016. Yeah, I would say around 2016, maybe 2015, 2016. I didn't name it. It was just group training and group running. So just lifting and running in a group setting. And then I've always liked doing one-on-ones, but I told myself I didn't for a long time because I had other coaches that were like, oh, that's dumb and that's not a good way of making money. And well, it's dumb and not a good way of making money for them. But I also do like developing relationships as much as I just said, like I have no F's to give. But like the relationships I develop are very important to me. So I want to give 120%. And I just don't feel like you can get that kind of like
in the group
intimacy in a group setting.
Yeah.
Like at Crux, it's different because I have so much control of the group. Like I'm never going to have 20 people there or 30 people there because I have it capped at 10. And I like that. And it's more of an instructional class anyway. So it's a little different.
But with propulsion, it started out as group, and then you've transitioned that
Yes.
to be more about
So I
one-on-one.
still have my group that come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then that my group runs are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But I started adding or incorporating one-on-ones. I do them virtually. I do them online. Like online meaning like I send you programming and we can meet once a month, or I send you programming and we meet no times.
Yeah.
And then virtual being we meet one-on-one, but it's Zoom or Google Meet
Yeah.
or in person. And I kind of like that diversity. I would hate if all of them were in person, and I would hate if all of them were online.
Yeah.
But it's nice to kind of have that like trade-off. And it's nice that some of my people I see bi-weekly or once a month.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives a little bit more diversity instead of like every day is like I'm a robot, because it can kind of feel like that sometimes.
Some room for spontaneity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how it is structured now. And I like it. And I mostly focus, I do not try to grow my group at all. I just mostly focus on individual running training and individual lifting training. It's because I just feel like that's where my heart's at.
Yeah.
I have been very successful with it, and I really enjoy it. I like my group. I love them. They're like family, but that's like different and special, and that's why I don't want to like change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or add.
There's something about the running and lifting groups that nourishes you.
Yeah, a little bit, because they feel more like family. They've been around for forever.
Community.
Yeah.
Socializing.
Yeah, sometimes they make me want to rip my hair out, but like it's like a loving way, you know?
Yeah. What are the goals of the folks that you come into contact with?
Oh, so it is like a wide range. We've got little broken individuals that have either had an injury or some sort of event, like they got in a car accident, and then like we're just trying to like put Humpty Dumpty back together.
So PTOT comes in.
Yes. And then I have people with like chronic disease or just finding out that they got chronic disease. I have couch potatoes that want to like, it's just like something hit them in the head and they realize that they want a change, and they realized everything else that they tried hasn't. And so those are like really fun for me. All of those are fun in different ways. They're all just like cute little puzzles that make my head want to explode, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
I love trying to figure it out. And then I have endurance athletes, which are probably the hardest people to train because they already have what they perceive in their mind, what they want or need.
They're rigid.
They're very type A.
They don't have that open mindset.
They're super rigid.
Yeah.
And until they get injured, do they ever have like any sort of twinkle of open-mindedness? And they're really not even open-minded then until they get like a squeak of relief. And then all of a sudden their mind closes again. It was like, well, that was your time. Hope you said enough.
Influenced me during that time when I was injured.
Yeah. Yeah. And educating is really important to me. So there's a lot of educating in my coaching that goes on, just kind of like in the instructional class. And kind of trying to find out why you have the habits you have. Like what drives you to not want to go to the gym? What drives you to not want to be consistent? What drives you to not want to eat better or whatever it is? Because I work with people a little bit on like basic nutrition and sports nutrition, like very, very, very basic. But it's a great start to, try to kind of like figure out like what all is going on with you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you might be lifting and you might be consistent 2 times a week. Well, you're never going to develop as much from 2 times a week. That's more like maintenance. You have to do 3 times or more. And then you have the other people that want to overtrain. So like kind of trying to find their dynamic and what's wrong with them, and then like how to like convince them to shift this way or that way.
Can you tell me where I'm at?
You're way more open-minded than when I first met you.
No, but yeah, totally.
And I think that you are like tapping into that next chapter because you're starting to recognize and understand and not have to think so much when you're in your movements.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you more things to look at and focus on.
But from from like the investment of time that I'm doing now. So from when I started, I started out, I was 205 pounds,
I don't know how tall you are.
6 foot.
That can be a lot.
And then, so now I weighed myself this morning and I was 188.
That's awesome.
So I've lost that amount. And my investment of time has been pretty much, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll do 2 hours. I'll do the 12 o'clock class and I'll do the 5:30 class.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it all the way to 7 because I do the abs and glutes.
Yeah.
So, and then on Mondays, I'll do your class and I'll do Cam's class. So even on Mondays, I'll do 2 classes.
Yeah.
And then on Saturdays, I'll do that 34-mile bike ride. And
I would just say, like, don't be so hung up on weight as your level of success. It should also incorporate how you feel day to day.
Yeah.
How are you recovering?
Well, things are starting to break down a little bit. The golfer's elbow and then sprained my ankle. It's like,
you have a lot of like repetitive movements. You have a whole bunch of coaches that are not programming together.
That's true.
You're getting generalized programming, so that can create overuse and boo-boos and wiggles and niggles. And so recognizing and understanding that, and understanding like, okay, I like to do classes, but maybe I should limit myself to 1 a day and only on these days, and then incorporate something on my own on these other days, or work on accessory movement on these other days. It's not that you necessarily can't do as much as you're doing. It's how you do it and how you approach it, and then like how quickly you build into it. Because I feel like when I met you, you were kind of like balls to the wall. You went from nothing to a lot because you were trying to work through a lot of things mentally.
Yeah.
And that, like we all have our time where we have some nervous movement, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But now you're in a different state. So I feel like you should really focus on like generating a plan that's going to be more optimal for you instead of just mindless movement,
Having a more
because you're moving with intention
plan.
when you're moving with me, but you're not moving with intention with your entire week. And then that compiles week to week.
Yeah.
Then you've got month to month. And then eventually the bobby pin snaps.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not saying you can't ever not do 2-a-days 4 or 5 days a week. I'm just saying maybe back it off a little bit, recognize where your priorities are and focus on that. Like, are you doing this just to lose weight? Are you doing this to get stronger? Are you doing this to be healthier? Kind of find out where you're...
Kind of all three.
Yeah. But
like I climb like you do.
Yeah.
And I realized that I wasn't increasing my level, and I thought, well, I need to start messing with my strength to weight ratio.
Yes.
So it was like more strength, less weight, so that I could just, what your weight, you're hauling up that rock.
Yes. So if you're asking for my opinion, I think that if you are trying to lift to become a stronger climber, then you need to do strictly strength. You don't need to do HIIT or circuit type classes, because those are hitting the same kind of energy system. It's all power endurance or, high heart rate. And then you rest.
That's like more carbs.
Heart rate. It's more cardio style.
Oh, yeah, cardio. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and you will need more carbs for that.
I do.
But that's what I'm talking about with intention,
Yeah.
And like understanding and learning, but you have to be educated to understand and learn. And so
Yeah.
you are doing your best in what you think is what's best for you, but maybe it's not necessarily best for you.
Part of it is a social part, though. I think part of it for me is like, I see these same people every day. We, in the different classes, I see different people. And
yes,
this is my life is making this show, at least since I've been laid off. And it can be a little isolating.
Oh, absolutely. I work from home and I school from home. You see me at Crux and it's like a social environment.
Yeah.
If you ever notice, I'm like in and out, and like the only people I socialize is with you guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm like kind of sucked dry after 2 classes, on Monday, in the sense of like socializing. But that doesn't mean that the other days I am not at this massive deficit of socialization.
Yeah.
I am talking to people, but it's in a job way.
Right.
It's not in a shoot the shit kind of way.
Human relating
Yeah, and
authentically.
so
Yeah.
I understand that whole like idea of isolation and stuff. And so I think like maybe trying to find other outlets, because I'm not saying don't be friends with these people or don't see these people, but if you're seeing them every day, maybe don't see them every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
Maybe see them every other day or once a day.
Yeah. Or maybe find other ways to build community into my life.
Yeah. Like there's that coffee shop next door. Like maybe, setting up a coffee shop meet chat.
Yeah.
Or finding other, like on Meetup, finding other little.
The group ride has been really helpful for that.
Yeah.
Like the group ride I do on Saturday mornings, I see them every time, and we've gotten some camaraderie and some friendships are developing
and that's
there.
awesome. And it's good for you to have that, but like running yourself into the ground just to socialize isn't going to work.
Well, I also want to get yoked.
But that's not how you get yoked, man. I'm not doing 2 workouts a day.
Yeah, you're not?
No.
How much do you work out a day? What is your...
I mean, I work out a lot, but I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
I lift 5 to 6 days a week.
How long do you lift?
3 heavy main lifts.
Okay.
Are the meat and potato days. Those could take up to 2 hours, sometimes just an hour and a half. But they're really heavy, and I have to take rest. That's why it takes...
So you're not lifting for 2 hours.
Lifting for 2 hours.
You're resting in between.
Lifting and resting.
So your time under tension might be an hour, like half that time?
Yeah. The other days are accessory stuff. So it could be anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 45. But it's like band work, any sort of accessory work with weights, without weights.
These are like PT type of things? Like
Not always.
Not always?
No, because like bicep curls and tricep extensions and a different version of a press or chin-ups versus pull-ups.
What is an accessory movement?
Something that's going to aid your main movements. So like making sure that my joint integrity is good. I do like curls and tricep extensions or dips or chin-ups because that's going to aid in my pressing and in my pulling. Because I'm doing weighted pull-ups and I'm doing pressing.
Okay.
One-arm pressing.
Gotcha.
So those are accessory movements.
Kind of like when we do all of our stretches and our rollouts before we do our things, we're preparing the body to do the activity.
Yes.
And so these accessory movements are stressing the body.
Day when we did like the curls and all that, that was accessory work. And then you had your strength stuff prior to that.
Right.
So that was just kind of like a total body day. It's not a bad way of formatting it. It's just how I formatted it for that day for you guys. But for me, I usually have it else like on another day because my strength days are like they take so much out of me.
Yeah.
They take so much thinking. My thinky brain hurts so bad because I got to make sure I don't drop this heavy thing in my face.
Yeah.
And I'm also really having to focus. I'm really having to make sure that my breath work is on point. I've got to make sure my mind's in it because if I'm distracted and I'm not going to be sitting chit-chatting it up with 145 pounds on a barbell.
Yeah. You're focused on your activity.
Don't eat shit. That's what I'm focused on.
Yeah.
Must complete lift.
Yeah.
That's it. Not anything else. So that's why I do my accessory days on other days. I will not do an accessory day if I end up actually getting to go climb or actually getting to go to yoga. But I like to do those too, but I interchange them. Do I do 2 a days? Technically, yes, every day because I do run at least 6 days a week. But I am running easy. I walk every day. My average steps, sorry, I didn't mean to touch that. My average steps per week is 32,000 steps a day.
32,000 steps a day? Okay, how many miles is that?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like 3 miles for every 5,000 or something.
33 then? That's the 3 miles for every 5,000? There's 6...
Yeah.
6 of those. So 6 times 6, 12, 18 miles of walking.
Walking, running.
Wow.
Yeah, but I like,
Just around the house. Yeah. Moving around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I walk my dog twice a day.
Yeah, I do that too.
And I, walk back and forth from my carport to the front.
What's your climbing? What level are you climbing at?
The last time I was climbing at Crux more consistently,
Or outdoor?
Outdoor. I haven't climbed outdoors in years. I was climbing 10s and 11s
Yeah.
back then, but that was a long time ago. And like, I was getting pretty gangster at Squirrels. I could do a handful of blues at ABP.
Mm-hmm.
Now I could probably do it, but I won't because my joint and skin integrity is not ready for it. Like I hang a whole bunch and I pull a lot of weight, but it's not in that kind of form or fashion. And so I'm not trying to injure myself. So I always climb significantly lower grades. Like I've been doing, like the last few times I've gotten to climb once a week for the last 2 weeks, and I wouldn't do anything past like a raccoon.
Yeah.
And I would climb up and down climb or maybe do ladders of it for a couple of sets.
Heck yeah.
Just because that's how I need to climb right now.
Right.
Unless I can be more consistent and go more often. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks I can do or wants me to do. There's people always trying to get me to do some dumb things. And I don't have anything to prove. And I don't need to prove it to you.
Cameron ripped his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, Cameron just had shoulder surgery.
That's sad.
From climbing.
That sucks.
It does suck.
That sucks a lot. And I feel really bad. And
Me
I hope
too.
He heals really well.
I hope he heals fast too. Yeah. Nobody does.
Yeah. So I'm over here climbing more practical.
I think that's what I need to do for a little bit of just lower weight, but still focusing on the fundamentals.
Yeah. Yeah. And like learning how to like control your body more on the wall is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to slow down gives you better skin integrity. So then your joints can handle it too.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a sloth on the wall.
Yeah, you go slow.
Yeah, I go slow.
With intention, which helpful out at Gus Frew with all that glassy feet.
Yeah.
You have to really like pinpoint your footing.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
You
you're
can,
like
polish you could like check your teeth and stuff like that. It's because it's so polished.
It's so polished.
Yeah. Yeah. I was more of a fan of Reimers.
I like Reimers. Yeah.
Green belt. Green belt's so slimy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're getting towards the end.
Yay.
You've been very gracious with your time.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to tell folks about fitness or lifelong learning before we wrap up?
I feel like we went over a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Phil Phails, and you've been hanging out with Ashtyn Johnson. Her company's called Propulsion. Propulsion. Thank you. And she's a lifting and running coach and also kind of a mindset expert, a lifelong learner. And I've learned a lot sitting with you about your life story and just kind of the way that you approach all of this stuff.
Why I approach it the way I do.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people at Crux don't understand.
But a lot of people in the world don't understand, probably.
No, they don't. No, I coach very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, listen to this. Watch it again. There's a lot here to learn.
Yay.
Yeah. You want to wave bye to everybody?
Bye.
Later, y'all.